Hey everyone, I'm Dylan Patterson,
I'm Abby Huff.
and we're here to talk to you today about college relationships. So, relationships, they can be hard, but they're a fact of life, and they're something that everybody craves. Being college students, especially, it can be hard to find the right balance between classes, jobs, internships, friendships, post graduation plans, and everything else in between. Adding a relationship into the mix then can be daunting, and it can be a lot of asking, where do I even begin? So, we're here to tell you that it doesn't have to be as difficult as any of those other things. And we've provided steps to help you achieve the relationship that you've always dreamed of. Now, remember, it's never a total guarantee, but we believe that after following these 4 chapters in our self help manual, you'll be able to navigate your college relationship from beginning to end, no problem. Even if you're already in a relationship, our chapters on maintenance and conflict management will be just as helpful to keep you and your partner happy and healthy. This manual makes college relationships so easy that even a frat boy can do it.
So our first chapter, it begins with attraction. So attraction is inevitable. Everyone goes through it at some point in their time. It's very much the root of many of our relationships and the beginnings of them. And it contains many different types that we learned about in class. So there's task, social, physical, and sexual attraction. And as humans and mammals even, there's a significant research on the biology as well as the communication that is rooted in the matter and how that plays out. So for this chapter, we took our readers through a model developed by Simpson and Harris in 1993. And this just shows the model by which attraction is displayed. So by walking through our readers through an example that we give them, we explained each of the variables that go along to the model. There's the P, the E, O, and the P times O, in which the items such as social motives, physical proximity, and physical attraction may play a role in the process. We also walked our readers through the idea of what is beautiful is good, and that we tend to attribute positive qualities to physically attractive people and negative ones to those that are physically unattractive. By giving our readers this insight, we guide them towards the dangers of this stereotype, as well as the idea that perceptions of what makes someone attractive or not may depend on the person. Therefore, they should not feel down when it seems that they are not getting the attention from the people that they're desiring. Everyone deserves to be loved and to feel love, which guides us into our next chapter. So chapter 2 is all about our second chapter is about liking to loving. So we begin this chapter with some familiar people and concepts such as Sternberg, attachment, and love languages. And while we found that they are important to note as we go through this chapter on how to go from liking to loving, we extended our research beyond the matter and were able to make some connections between intimacy, passion, and commitment, as well as the two terms latent intimacy and manifest intimacy. Some interesting findings that we found were pretty important for our readers to know in their own relationships, and that was the idea of infatuation and attachment. So, infatuation may be described as the overwhelming feeling that one has for another, and it's often associated with passion or romantic love. It's what you feel in the beginning of a relationship. Attachment is more about the emotional bonding with an individual and is associated with intimacy and commitment. It takes some time to develop, and you may see it decrease over the decades. We believe it is important for our readers to become aware of this depending on their intentions in a relationship or just their intentions in reading this manual. If they are looking for guidance in how to move the relationship along and keep it stable, they must be able to understand and recognize the difference between the two and the process taking place. In this chapter, we were also able to find some interesting pairings between romantic love and its motivational drive component, as well as human affection exchange theory and our motivation to survive and reproduce.
So, our next chapter is chapter 3, and that's maintenance. This is actually the chapter that you can pick up even if you're already in a relationship or you're becoming more serious in your relationship. Maintaining a relationship is the long haul portion. Attraction and loving are stages of the relationship that you must go through, but maintaining it is something that's serious and continuous throughout. This maintenance, however, does not have to be so difficult all the time, or even something that you're constantly thinking of. In our manual, we outline some of the things that can be done to predict a healthy and satisfying relationship and what to work on to maintain it. One of these things that you can do is understand each other's communication skills and what skills are best in terms of maintaining that healthy relationship. Another important aspect that transcends into many areas of the manual is that of uncertainty reduction. Having the same conceptions of your relationship and reducing uncertainty concerning your commitment to each other is extremely important. Knowing what each of you want out of the relationship, especially in the earlier stages of maintenance, allows you to understand each other better and reduce tensions and potential turbulence. As well, we cover the topic of jealousy as shown on the slide here. And this portion, it covers attachment styles as well. and how the potential attractive alternatives that could cause issues in the relationship. And then we cover how to limit the threat of those attractive alternatives to maintain stability and security. All right, and our last chapter we cover is chapter 4, and that's all about conflict. So in this chapter, we take a look at the different conflict styles and those negative conflict management behaviors that can be so toxic to a relationship that they've actually been dubbed the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And these 4 horsemen are criticism, defensiveness, contempt, and stonewalling. Thankfully, though, as is covered in our textbook by Guerrero, there are alternative behaviors that we also cover to these relationship ending behaviors that can help to navigate the conflict more positively. As well, we come back to the idea of uncertainty reduction and how it can help with your partner in managing that conflict. With relational uncertainty comes relational turbulence. And reducing that uncertainty enables you to better know your partner, increase your connection, increase your empathy, and increase the commitment to the relationship and create it to be more positive in all regards. At the end of the chapter, we provide a quiz to review your own conflict styles that can be taken with your partner if you currently have one, or on your own if you're looking to get into a relationship to better understand how you approach conflict as it comes and keep in mind how to handle it more effectively.
In conclusion, being college age ourselves, we thought that this sort of manual was so important to create to gear towards our peers and felt that we could better reach them with some ethos on understanding rather than another age group. The versatility of the manual is the true selling point for us, as people at any relational stage can pick this up and gain some great insights for how to engage with a starting relationship or maintaining their current one. We would say our goal here was achieved, but there is always room for more depth, and in that sense leaves room for more manuals to be produced in the future. Thank you all so much for listening, and we hope that you enjoyed and will consider getting yourself a copy of College Relationships: So Easy a Frat Boy Could Do It.